Oh my gosh, I was over here about to start talking. I hadn't even moved my microphone. Good morning, Oxford and Atlanta. What is up, everybody? Happy Friday. What a beautiful, beautiful day. There is nothing I love more than waking up, coming to the gym, seeing everybody I enjoy, and then crushing a podcast on something I love talking about. And it's going to be 80 degrees today. Now, I'll tell you, when I woke up this morning and I was walking to my car, it's probably like 4 a.m. I opened up my garage and it's been a bit chilly. If you came to class this morning, you already know. But what a great day. I'm so excited. I'm going to give everybody a couple minutes. I think Savannah just chatted me out. Not me. Thank goodness. I always get nervous. Just want to make sure I don't miss her messages. But speaking of, really quick, while we wait for everybody to hop on, just remember that this weekend, Coach Katie's coaching over here at EAV. And then tomorrow at 9 o'clock over at Oxford Grant Park, Coach Cash is doing a toes to bar seminar and workout. If you have been wanting to string them together, maybe even just try and get your first one, let me tell you, he is the gymnast master over there. This guy is amazing. So he is someone who has definitely helped coach me to get better at my kipping, especially, and my toes to bar. So if you have the time in the morning, go to Oxford Grant Park, 9 a.m. and let's hang out. And also shout out to Izzy, who stopped by and got me this delicious coffee from Plants and Coffee. They got their new spring menu out, and it is it is delicious. Oh, I just keep having the best days. But all right, we'll wait one more minute. You guys, what are you doing this weekend? We've got the Spring Fling 5K. Tomorrow, your girl's going to be on the microphone per usual, of course. Oxfit will have a tent out there. So even if you're not running the 5K, which a bunch of our athletes are, you can come by. I'm going to have a chance for you to win a free month at Oxfit. So if you know someone who's been wanting to try Oxfit, send them my way. They can maybe win a free month. So don't miss out on all the festivities this weekend. All right, let's go ahead. Let me know that you're here. Let me, sound off in the comments. Good morning. Good morning. I know that you've probably seen the title. Maybe this is a little different than what I normally do, but I am super excited. Ant challenged me to really find what it is that I want to be remembered for, what I want people to, when they think of me, they're like, oh yeah, that's Coach Beefy, that's Coach Caitlin. And, and I really sat with that all day yesterday. And, the first thought that came to mind is, well, conspiracies, of course. I can talk about those all day, every day. I just love me a conspiracy. And I was like, well, maybe on my own YouTube channel, if I was ever brave enough to do one of those. But what I realized is that, some of you know my journey, some of you don't know my journey. That is something that I am going to touch on today. But I feel like I've lived so many lives, and I feel like where I'm at now is somewhere I never thought I would be. And that came with a lot of struggle. It came with a lot of strife. It came with immense change, fear, being uncomfortable. And all of it had in common with me having faith and believing in the change and the changes that I wanted to make, and having faith in myself. And, let me start off by saying, this isn't about religion. And this isn't about me telling you, what you should and what you shouldn't believe. I'm not trying to convert anybody. It's just simply about having faith, and one of the biggest things that, people tend to think about is, they don't really see it as faith. You can call it, if there's something else you want to call it, you could call it maybe, people like to put it, your daily gratitude, your daily affirmations. But those are you believing and having faith. I am strong. I am powerful. I am successful. You still have to have faith to believe those things. So let's get into it. All right. So here we go. I'm excited. All right. Now, take what you want from this. Not all of it is going to be for everybody. I put in things that I know stand out and have worked for me, and maybe they'll work for you, or maybe it'll, ring true for you, or, change your perspective. So, if you hear anything that you really love, you can, put it in the comments, let me know. You can DM me, you can text me if you have my number, email me. But yeah, let's do it. So when it comes to faith, faith gives you the courage to move forward even when you cannot see the outcome. Discipline gives you the structure to keep moving when motivation disappears. One removes fear and the other removes excuses. Faith without action becomes wishful thinking. Discipline without faith often burns people out. But when you combine both faith and discipline, you become dangerous in the best possible way. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and you start building a stronger life, one decision at a time. A powerful life is built when faith directs your path and discipline carries you through it. I'm just so glad that you're here today, because we are about to dive into a powerful truth, a truth that can transform how you see your body, your journey, and your mindset. So for those of you who are spiritual, today could be focused on trusting God's plan without knowing the outcome. It could be trusting the process without knowing the outcome. But we'll be speaking life over ourselves, over our body, over our thoughts, and also being faithful to ourselves when it comes to stewarding our bodies, right? Because one thing that I've heard a lot of recently is that your body is your calling card. People can look at you and see the type of person that you are. And I fully and wholeheartedly believe that. And I see it in the gym every day. I see how hard everybody works. I see the dedication. I see the goals that people have. So it's not just me. Because one thing that, people tend to talk about is outside of the gym, they either are at home with their families or they're in the gym. And that rings true for me because I don't do a lot of extracurricular activities not being with my friends here at the gym. And Lauren, Savannah, my husband, my kids, we are all very active. We all lead a healthy lifestyle. And so when I do go places and I do see people that, maybe they're on just starting their journey, or maybe it's not the journey for them, but I can tell when someone is dedicated. I can tell when someone is motivated. I can tell when someone is stewarding their body that they've been given. Because guess what? We only wake up with one body every single day. This is it. This is all we get from the moment we're born till the day that we die. This is it. You look in the mirror and look at yourself. This is the only life that you get. One body, one life, one chance. But the best part about it is that you could wake up any day and become anything you want to be. You can do anything that you want to do. So let's dive deeper. Faith without knowing the outcome. All right, let's start simple yet profound. Faith is about trust. Whether you're trusting your partner, whether you're trusting your friends, whether you're trusting God, whatever it is, you're trusting even when you can't see what's ahead. I mean, it's easy to trust things when everything is just falling into place, when everything is lining up. But that's not how it always works. Real faith is about standing firm when the path isn't clear. It's about not giving up. When you are trying your hardest and you're not seeing any results. I mean, think about it. Think about your fitness journey. Maybe you've hit a plateau, or maybe progress feels slow. It's during these moments that faith becomes our anchor. Now, I've thrown in a couple things that speak to me. And like I said, this may not be for everybody, and that's okay. But one of the things is in Hebrews 11:1. It says, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." Faith is confidence. We stand firm. Because think about it. You have a goal of running a marathon. Could you go and run one right now? I mean, yeah, you might walk a bunch. You might not be able to do it. But maybe you're not at that place yet and you don't have the faith and you don't have the belief that you can do it. So without leaning on your own understanding, you have faith to trust yourself enough that you are going to put in the work, that you are going to make it to the finish line. So I'm challenging you right now to embrace the uncertainty and walk forward in faith, knowing that you've got it every step of the way. Now, I'm going to take it back a little bit, just talk about my personal journey from, you know, nothing too crazy, but from where I was before and where I am now, because there are plenty of times when we get to points in our life and we look back and we don't even recognize that person. I look at old pictures of myself. Aunt loves to look at old pictures of me, Savannah as well. And it's like, wow, no one can believe that's me. Not even I can believe that's me. Like I said, I feel like I've lived so many lives. And the thing is I first off never thought I would be where I am today, doing what I'm doing, working where I'm working, being married, being a stepmother, having a relationship with my parents. Like there are so many things that blow my mind when I think about where I used to be. So to make a long story very short and to talk about my path, people that know me now, they know me as Caitlin, they know me as Coach Beefy. They see me, in the gym. I'm healthy. I take vitamins. I wake up every day at 3:15 in the morning. I'm at the gym all the time. I'm doing marathons, triathlons, CrossFit competitions. The list is endless of the things that I've accomplished and done over the last 5 years. And if I were to have thought about this probably a decade ago, I probably would have laughed in your face because I didn't even like to sweat. I didn't like to be outside. I didn't like to get sweaty. I didn't want to overexert myself. You could have been joking me if you thought that I was going to be working out at all. And so thinking back about the things that I've done and have overcome, I've overcome addiction. I have overcome alcoholism. I have overcome trauma and abuse. I have overcome lying and cheating. And I'm not talking about just addiction in the sense of like, okay, I like to party and do all this stuff. No, I'm talking about drug addiction, porn addiction. And it's funny to say as a woman, I would have never thought that I would be someone who would be not only creating a legacy, but also creating an impact on people and changing other people's lives. That's crazy. That's honestly really crazy to think about. And I was given the opportunity to change my life by Ann Oxley. And now look at me. But during all those times when, I was passing out in random places, when I was drinking myself into a hole, when I was doing sex work, when I was at the lowest of lows, suicidal, depressed, and now here I am. Because I believed, and I also had other people having faith in me who believed in me that I could make these changes. Because no, you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. And I say that as someone who has been through trials and tribulations and has worked myself to the point of utter exhaustion just to achieve the life I never knew was possible. But I had to have faith. I had to believe in myself. I had to believe that there was something better for me. I had to believe that if I put in the work and I worked hard enough, that I could achieve it. Because like I said, this isn't just a spiritual thing. This is a full body and mind and soul experience that you are going through, and that you are hoping and trusting and having confidence that you will get there. You want to open a business. Well, you have to have faith. You want to sell something you've been working on. Well, you have to have faith. Those people that you look up to that own businesses, multi-million and billion-dollar companies, someone had a shred of faith, an ounce of faith, and believed in themselves and had other people believing in them. And that is why they are where they are. And that leads me into my next point of speaking life over ourselves. So it's easy. It's easy, of course. I think the first easiest thing to do is have faith. You believe in yourself. But what happens next is the words that we speak. The words that we speak over ourselves, the words that we speak about other people, the words that we speak to our hearts and our mind and our bodies. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. And I've said this before, whether you think you can, you can. And whether you think you can't, you can't. But when I tell you, you reap what you sow, I'm not lying when I say that. You reap what you sow. The things that you do, you will sow later on. So if all day, every day, you are talking about, I can't do this, I can't do that. Oh, I'd rather, end it. I'd rather, it's never going to work for me. Of course, it's never going to work for you. Because you are eating the words that you spoke. You will eat the fruits of the words that you speak. Our words have power. That's why we need to speak words of positivity, encouragement, affirmations. Why do you think waking up and being grateful for the fact that you have another day, that you have another chance to spend time with your family and your friends and experience another day? Because a lot of people don't have that. Maybe you've caught yourself thinking, I'll never get there, or I'm too tired, or worse, you just talk negatively about yourself. I'm fat, I'm skinny, I'll never gain muscle, I'll never be able to pick up that weight. But I'm encouraging you today to flip that script and speak words rooted in positivity, in life, in encouragement. I will succeed. I will be successful. I will be powerful. I will be a CEO. I will be an entrepreneur. I will be important. Because I'm telling you, in those times of need and those times of depression and those times of anxiety, you are the one perpetuating your anxiety. You are perpetuating your fear. You are stuck where you are because of the way that you speak to yourself, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you handle life and what comes against you. Because you have no faith. You have no faith that you can change. You have no faith that your plan can work. You have no faith that you will make it to the end of the finish line. Faith and belief are important. And it starts with having faith and believing in ourselves. You know, what's wild is people just don't want to have faith, and people don't want to believe. Because if we realized how capable we truly are of anything that we want to do in this life, that scares a lot of people. It puts you in an uncomfortable position. And you're uncomfortable because of the fear that you have. Because remember, if all you do is talk down on yourself, speak ill about yourself, and literally destroy everything that you are because of the fact that you think that you'll never make it or you'll never achieve your goal, then you never will. And you will continue to do the same thing that you've been doing over and over and over again all these years, and you'll still be stuck in the same place, and you'll wonder why this person has achieved this, why this person is successful. Well, that's because they took action, they have discipline, and they have faith. Now, last but not least, let's talk about stewarding our body. So we have been given this one life. We have been given this one body. And if we don't take care of it, I mean, clearly you see what happens. Sickness, death, cancer, death. Inflammation in the body, mucus in the body. All of that comes from not exercising, not eating well, not moving, not having good habits, lifestyles. Because if you treat your body like trash, it will respond like the trash that it is. Because if all you're doing is beating your body up, then you are beaten down. It's not about perfection. Stewarding your body is not about perfection. We have to be intentional with our health. We have to nourish our bodies with good food. We need to stay active. We need to get rest, and we need to listen to what our body needs. Like I said, I can tell the type of person that you are just based off of what you are presenting. And that's the thing. And it's not that I'm out here saying, well, if you're obese or if you're overweight, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about all bodies. Because there are plenty of people on this fitness journey of all body types. And that is not what I'm judging somebody on. What I'm judging somebody on when I say that is I'm talking about your lifestyle choices and your habits. I know plenty of people. I've worked in the service industry my whole life. I was a bartender for over 12 years. I've worked with all types of people, all body types. It doesn't matter. But when I see your character, when I see your habits, and I see that you have no discipline, and all you do, just like I did, is drink and party and do drugs and never sleep. And that shows. What happens on the inside shows on the outside. This isn't about just physical discipline. This is about mental and emotional and spiritual obedience and discipline. When we care for our health, we acknowledge that our bodies are sacred. We acknowledge the fact that we have one life to live. Because I'm telling you right now, you may not think about it on the day to day, but I used to think about this all the time as, especially at my old job when I was bar managing and bartending. I had regulars. I had a lot of regulars. And they were in there 5-6 nights a week, drinking anywhere from 5 to 10 drinks, taking shots, smoking, whatever. That's fine. If that's what you want to be doing, that's fine. But one of the biggest moments that I remember being a bartender is that for a couple days, I didn't see one of my regulars, and then come to find out they had passed away. Just randomly passed away. They weren't sick. From everything that I knew, they weren't sick. But come to find out, it was alcohol poisoning. And they passed away in their sleep. We have to take care of the one body that we get, that we only get the chance to have for the next 80, 90 years. And man, I'm hoping and I'm praying and I have faith that I make it. I want to make it to 100. I want to make it to 100. But that's so uncommon these days. It's just like when you think about it, in the early days, settlers, Indians, etc. I mean, the life expectancy was about 30. That's wild. And then for a while there, especially in some of these blue zone areas, people are living to be, 90, 100. My grandmother died at 108. My grandmother, my great grandmother. She lived in Puerto Rico her whole life in the mountains on a farm, void of technology in the world around. And now you see it on Facebook all the time. Celebrities, it doesn't matter who you are, they're dying 35 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old. We're not making it very long. And that's because we're not taking care of our bodies. We're not taking care of our mind. We're not taking care of our spirit, our hearts. We're not taking care of what we put in. And I'm not just talking about what we eat. I'm talking about what we see, what we experience, what we say, what we do every single day. I'm telling you, as someone who has made it this far, and there were times that I didn't think that I was going to make it. I'm honestly shocked when I think about some of the scenarios and places and things that I've done. I can't believe I made it out of that. I can't believe I stayed safe. I probably should have had something worse happen to me. But here I am. And that's because I have always had faith that I have a bigger purpose in this life than just having been some party girl with tattoos and big boobs. I want to be remembered as someone who changed people's lives. And I don't want to be remembered as my old self. People would call me Rico, who was always in the bathroom, doing things in there, partying, drinking, fighting, going to jail. I don't want to be remembered as that person. I want to be the person that helped you become the best version of you. I want to be remembered as the person who not only changed your life, but changed the direction that you're going in. I want to be the person that helps shape your future. And I don't want to, and even if I just play a small part, to know that later in life that I had that type of impact, that I helped you have faith, that I helped you have the belief in yourself, that I helped give you the courage to make a change. That's what I want to be remembered for. So as you go about your day, remember, walk with faith, walk with belief, walk with positivity, speak well over yourself, speak life, steward your body, trust in the outcome. Your journey isn't just about the physical change. It's about spiritual, mental, and emotional growth and strength. I hope that maybe this helped to encourage you. I hoped maybe this, maybe you're like, oh, Caitlin, you're crazy. That's fine too, because I have a lot of faith and I believe that I can be anything that I want to be because I have been everything and anything that I could have been back then. So I know that with my faith and the belief in myself, that I will do great things. And I can feel it every single day. The chance to be whoever I want to be, and the fact that I get to wake up and choose what it is that I want to do. Man, that's the best feeling in the world. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you choose to believe in yourself and have faith when you don't have any. You might feel low, you might be depressed, you might have anxiety, but just know there is a light at the end of the tunnel. If you need encouragement, if you need a hug, if you need a coach, if you need someone in your corner, DM me, email me, text me, because I'm your girl. There's nothing I love more than lifting people up, encouraging people, and getting to know your heart. I hope everybody has such a great weekend. Thanks for letting me share that today. I look forward to seeing you guys